The component of reading that I chose to study more about is reading comprehension. This is about the construction of reading rather than passive remembering. That's just kind of a blurb of what it's all about. So, what is reading comprehension? According to the National Reading Panel Report, it is the act of understanding and interpreting the information within a text. To make that a little bit more, easy to understand, when someone's reading a text, you process the words and build an understanding of the reading or of the meaning of the reading, and that is the comprehension of it. It's a combination of decoding, which is understanding the meaning of letters together, and putting that with comprehending, and that's understanding the meaning of words in a sentence. So comprehension is a combination of decoding and comprehending. So why is reading comprehension important? It teaches students to ask and answer questions as they are reading a text. So it's more known as a comprehension strategy rather than a teaching strategy. It's something that it's strategies that you can teach a child to use to help them to further understand what they're reading. And so this just creates meaning out of a text rather than just reading words and just having a bunch of words put together. You're actually creating a meaning out of it. And so that goes with point number 2. A student does not automatically comprehend just because they can read. So just because a child can read words in a sentence doesn't always mean that they are putting those words together and creating understanding for it. They must be taught the strategies of how to comprehend what they're reading. So that is why it's important to teach reading comprehension strategies rather than just expect students to understand what they're reading just because they can read words. The way reading comprehension is taught in my classroom is within small groups, I will choose a book on level for students so that decoding and fluency is not an issue for them. They're able to read words and decode those words, and then that gives them a chance to be able to comprehend so that they're not struggling to put words together and know what they're saying. And then a sound explanation of strategies. Those are always explained at the beginning of the lesson within the small group so that they understand exactly what the strategy is, and then stopping to discuss points in a story. So that means if I was reading the story The Three Little Pigs with a group, we would read a couple pages and then maybe stop after the first pig and talk about what he used to build his house and what happened when the wolf came. And then we might continue reading and then stop again after the second pig and talk about what he did differently and compare the two, and then continue reading and talk about the next one as well. So those are ways of just an example of stopping within a story and discussing things that are within the story. The way that you can teach reading comprehension at home is question asking and question answering. So the book mentions 3 times about using multiple strategies at once, how that's way more useful than just using one. So if you stop and have questions to ask about a story and then have your child answer those, that's super helpful for them to understand and comprehend. And then another strategy is summarization. So if you have your child, this is one that we like to use in the classroom, somebody wanted, but so then, so that gives the main character what that character wanted, what the problem was, what they chose to do, and then what happened in the end. And those are 2 strategies you could use at home. Some additional resources for you to use at home is this video about reading comprehension. It's about a 5-minute video just talking about things you need to know as a parent, kind of summarizing basically what we went over here, what it is, how to teach it, things like that. And then also I have a website listed called Teach Your Monster. It helps teach different strategies about reading, fluency and decoding, and then it gets into comprehension, so it builds. And this is just another good way to add in all the different components of reading and teaching them at home with your child.